A 31-year-old man named Nestor Flores was driving down a highway just outside of Dallas, Texas, with both his hands tightly gripping the steering wheel. And Nestor had spent the night out with a couple of friends, and he had had a couple of drinks. As Nestor is doing his best, trying to follow all the rules of the road, he decides to have a sip of his Diet Coke. He grabs the Coke, takes a sip, and as he puts the drink back down, he hits something with the drink. He took his eyes off the road, and he put the drink back in its cup holder, and then when he brought his eyes back to the road, there was a deer in the middle of the road, and so at full speed, he smashes into this deer and flips up and over the back of his car. And so rolled off the side of the road, and as he did, he looked over his shoulder, seeing if this deer was basically lying in the road. But when he looked over his shoulder, the road was clear. There was no deer. And when he put the car back in drive, Nestor's car began making this horrible rattling sound from the engine, and also smoke began to billow up out of the front of his car. Nestor pulled off and came to a stop in the parking lot of a fast food restaurant. And so Nestor turned off his car, and then when he tried to turn it back on again, the car simply wouldn't start. And so at this point, Nestor knew he had to call a tow truck. But his phone was dead. So Nestor walks into the restaurant, and he asked the person behind the counter, like, hey, do you mind charging my phone? But the employee, they didn't say anything back to Nestor. They just stood there with their mouths open and their eyes wide, staring at Nestor, like they couldn't believe what they were looking at.